Joining us on our guests from Discount Tire for the Command of Fire Engines, Taylor Deal and Kaylee Deal.
Okay, it's time.
Start your engines!
And there you have it, the call from the podium to fire up these engines. There's Elliott Cox right there, the Indianapolis, Indiana native, trying to get the big victory here. A podium, I think, would be good for this young driver who sat in your seat where you are right now. Greg Strong, last year, he was my driver analyst. He ran in our USF Juniors program, and all he kept talking about when he was here was this year, next year, when he's going to get a chance to run here, and he's had a great weekend so far. Record race number 1, the man came back strong. Young man that doesn't turn 16 years of age until we get to the end of August, and he's had a race. So to have that many drivers move up, we've got all these rookies coming in. There's only a handful of drivers in their second year. So by and large, pretty much a freshman class in USF2000.
And just like the previous 2 races for this series, one of these yesterday, the first one out of the chute this morning at 8 a.m. This is a 15-lap race. There is a time limit in case we need it. We should have an ample window of time to finish all 15 laps today. Again, with 2 more races to follow, Indy next at 1, of course, the GMR Grand Prix coming your way during the 3 o'clock hour.
Yeah, we're thrilled to be able to bring you these drivers who eventually will get themselves to the NTT IndyCar Series to kind of fire things up here in the afternoon. Again, this is where you saw the Renus VKs running, the Kyle Kirkwoods, the David Belucas. This is where they started in this program. So you're watching the future stars of the NTT IndyCar Series here. We say hello to all those of you around the track who are going to take in this USF2000 race, and those of you, of course, watching on the USF Pro Championships app or on our YouTube channel from around the country and around the world. We know we have such an international field. We have people watching down in New Zealand, over in Europe as well, Australia. So a shout out to all of those of you. Thanks for tuning in with us here. And it is time to go racing. 20 drivers set to go. Simon Sykes on the pole will set the grid as they come out of turn number 14. It'll be his call to punch off first. He's got Nikita Johnson on the outside. So 22-year-old on the inside, a 14-year-old on the outside. And they're going to be battling for a championship here in 2023. Out of turn number 14, down this long straightaway. They'll key on the starter, and it's time to get things underway. Final race of a triple header. Sykes punches on, and we are green and 2 pre-run already.
I saw somebody pop a wheelie. I didn't see any damaged front wings though.
A long run down, everybody getting that draft.
Third time literally was the charm. I think that's the best start we have seen. Now, frankly, some of the incidents have happened outside of turn number 1 these first couple of races, but again, as much as we want to see competitive, entertaining racing, the focus here is learning. These young men are learning the craft as they are doing this, so it's great to see that progression from literally race 1 yesterday to race 3 today.
And we always want clean, green to checker races. We don't want them driving behind the yellow, under the safety car or the yellow flag. We want to have them with lots and lots of racing. Being told that the start is under review, I don't know that it's going to be for anybody up front. That looked pretty clean. I think more potentially for mid-pack. We did have a driver go off, a couple of them off at the outside of turn number 10 there. That could potentially bring out a full course if we're not able to get back on the racetrack. One of those is the number 90 machine involved there, which could be Jacob Douglas. You got to be kidding me. This kid has had a horrible weekend up and down. Douglas, we think, potentially the driver off over in turn number 10. There might be 2 of them, though, over there, so potentially looking to see if we go full course. They already go full course.
Garcia Arce. We mentioned the fact he had finished 6th and 10th in the first 2 races. He has gotten the
1-0 and 9-0
He's going to be on the tail end of this lead group whenever we do restart. But it was Jorge Garcia Arce that, again, unfortunately got caught up in that incident with Douglas coming out of turn number 10.
Yeah, Jacob Douglas just turning into turn number 10. Garcia Arce was right on the inside and made contact with his right rear. It's just been a tough weekend for both of these two exclusive autosport drivers, both Jacob Douglas and Chase, as I talked about, issues with him as well, Chase Gardner. So a broken wing there. So I believe, there's the problem there. You can tell, I said, left front to right rear contact. Garcia Arce and the number 10, the Mexican for D-Force Racing, brings that machine in. They'll go to work trying to get it fixed, but he's going to go a couple of laps down. Right now, if you saw the replay there, Gardner almost went over, Douglas almost went over. It was kind of up in the air quite a bit, coming down potential damage when it hit, and obviously not coming back to pit lane as of this time. So contact between those two drivers, tough for him, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see, I think we're going to see Chase Gardner come in for a front wing change. Here's that start again. So if you look further back, look at that yellow roll hoop. That's Chase Gardner. He's holding his spot. One driver pops out and actually gets to the back of him. That was I want to say a 33 at Max Taylor. So Taylor jumps out early and he makes contact with Chase Gardner. His way all the way up to 5th. Didn't have that same luck this morning, so you're right. It's been a tough weekend. The Rocket could have been a whole lot worse than number 95 car. Let's have another look at this start here. And if you look further back for that yellow, well back at the top of the screen, you're going to see it. Actually, no, so it indeed was Max Taylor popping out, but it wasn't contact with Taylor and Gardner. There was enough room. He pulls out, no contact for Taylor and Gardner, but Gardner got whoever was in front of him checked up a little bit. I think that would have been Garcia's potentially checked up, and he just kind of got in the back of him as well. So, yeah, tough start for a couple of drivers here. Bad luck for two exclusive autosport drivers as Jacob Douglas, I believe, still out onto the racetrack now, so the crew will go pick up the number 90 exclusive autosport machine. The 95 of Gardner in pit lane, as is the 10 of Garcia. So, you know what? Again, we expected a cleaner start, had some contact there. But nonetheless, the star of the show on the opening circuit and a half, essentially, was Papa Sabas, as he's able to get himself into the lead. A great run, split the difference coming in, and again, holding sights down to the bottom. Simon realized when you're that low on the racetrack, less grip and a tighter corner to make it, you got to get on the brakes earlier.
As far as Douglas is concerned, he will finish 20th in this event. He was 15th in race number 1 yesterday, 6th in race number 2 earlier today, but unfortunately, 20th place finish for Douglas, unless they can bring that car back in and try to get it restarted.
Indeed, and Simon Sykes started on the pole, getting shuffled all the way back to 6th position on that opening circuit, but he swallowed them up. Didn't get an opportunity to bring those is a tough place to be on the restart here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on this road course, because the simple fact is you get the green, and it's such a long run, Greg, from the yard of bricks down into turn number 1. It's a straightaway in and of itself to a certain extent, so everybody behind is going to get that big grab coming down into turn number 1. I believe we're looking at about 2,800 feet of straightaway, coming close to the middle of the oval is not there. It's about 2,400 feet or so. So these are two of the longer straightaways that these young drivers and frankly any of the drivers in the series. Who started back in 13th, who's went to 11th. Ethan Ho in 12th. Avery Towns, 13th. Al Morey, who started in 15th, now 14th. Maxwell Jameson started dead last. He went to 15th spot, so he's obviously able to make the
A new wing that doesn't match, but it's a new wing that works. That's good enough. So he is back up and running. And again, Garcia is trying to kind of make way towards the field as well. And I think we're going to see the green flag the next time by, my friend.
Indeed. George Garcia able to get that car fit. Great job for the people. Contact between he and, of course, the number 90. We'd be able to see it right here. We'll check the next camera view to see whether or not they had cleared the incident here for the number 90 of Jacob Douglas. They may have just pulled him back behind the wall, indeed. So he had probably just been pulled back. Tough one for Jacob Douglas, for sure, as he'll end up in the 20th position. But we are planning to go back to green flag this time by. It'll be 4 laps down. We'll have 11 laps still remaining in the final race of this USF 2000 triple header here on the road course at IMS. And get ready for this one, because you thought the start was exciting. It's the same for the restart, because it's such a long run, as I said. We'll see whether or not Papa Sabas is able to hold it. This, I think, his first restart in P1 in USF 2000. So a new opportunity here to learn something for Papa Sabas as he will get on the lap pedal. And they'll work their way down. Watch for when you attack back points on the other side of the side. He's going to make at least 3. So 3 spots for Gardner. He and all the attacks. Pretty solid run there for Papa Sabas.
And Rob, let's go back to the start of the race. And we said it was going to be under review, and obviously there was some damage that was caused. Well, 2 drivers were given drive-through penalties at the start of this group. Taylor, the 33, and Towns, the 93, were assessed drive-through penalties. Those are the 2 that peeled off as the field was coming through turn 14. Those have now been served. They're back at the tail end of the lead lap.
Yeah, tough. Both drivers will be coming back out here. The 93 percent into
9-7, long time to hit a block.
Back on track, but again, as we said, the issue there, the drive-through for jumping the start. Out front right now, though, it is Lockie Hughes. I believe he may have taken the lead. Lee Hughes has gotten to P1. So Lockie able to get by his teammate Papa Sabas. So we'll see how this all plays out. Simon Sykes trying to get things back to where he needs to be. He's trying to get another win right now, because at the very least, he's going to try to beat Lockie Hughes. That is the point leader coming in here. 7 points. Nikita Johnson, 3rd points. Papa Sabas and Sam Ford right now at the top of the line. Starting to get aggressive, and there's side-by-side racing for Papa Sabas and Clark. Might be Sykes in the second, either second or third. For Sykes, both those cars very similar.
By the way, Hughes and Johnson trying to have podium finishes in all 3 events here this weekend. Hughes has been the runner-up in both. Nikita Johnson's been 3rd in both, and right now, those 2 drivers run 1, 1, and 2.
Contact right there, a couple of drivers making contact. I believe that might have been Papa Sabas and Clark getting together over in turn number 7, so they're stacking things back up again. You can see coming up there as well, the black and yellow machine of Max Garcia. Being told the number 33, Max Taylor, being told if he does not come in for that what do you call it, drive-through penalty, that he's going to get the black flag. We saw him pop out.
Yeah, correct. I said that it was 93 and 33 to serve a drive-through. I saw the 93 come down. The 33 did not. So again, Taylor, the 33, needs to serve that penalty, or he will be further called into the principal's office at this point.
Indeed, they're not going to like that. He's a USF Juniors driver coming up to run USF 2000. To be, and the 33 of Max Taylor, the DRD Racing Engine, serving his drive-through penalty. That was an easy call for
It is
awesome to see the field spaced out a little bit now as we're heading in towards Holman and Boulevard at this point.
Big lead left Zazelski, one of the drivers overcooking it, coming through turn number 7.
Flying off.
And that's outside the top 4. Papasava's 5th, Clark, Corey, Garcia, Zazelski, and Gardner top 10. How about Chase Gardner? Had the issue, lost the wing, started at the tail of the field, worked his way already up into the 10th position. He's got the bit between his teeth for sure.
You mentioned Lockie Hughes, and Lockie is an Aussie. He's a little bit older than a lot of the drivers in the series. He's 21 years of age. It's his 2nd year of running in the States. Able to run one USF 2000 event last year, ran the F4 series, and he was
was a champion in the USF 2000 category and the Pro 2000 category. And that battle there a little further back is pretty aggressive too. That's Garcia and Gardner going at it.
And we have a car that is slowing down the backstretch as well, so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. There may have been a little contact that was involved there. The car is slowing down, I believe, unfortunate to Elliott Cox.
So potential spin for Elliott Cox. Number 5 and 6. So Cox has some trouble coming out of turns 5 and 6. Hopefully we'll pick up a camera there when we can.
Which is a shame because, again, the local prop was having such a really good race. He was in 6th position, but all of a sudden we saw that car starting to slow down the backstretch.
You wonder whether or not the remnants from the accident potentially that happened on Friday, turns 6 and 7. We'll pick it up when they come through here.
I don't know if they know about it. I told them about it. I'm probably going to ask them if they've
driven over in race number 1.
So Hughes, Sykes, Johnson, Papasavas, and Clark. Currently your top 5.
Maybe not quite that far, but yeah.
He was 7th. Frankly, he was racing in a much better position yesterday when, again, that scary contact happened. Again, was safe out of that event. Was a win for him a day ago.
So here's the shot, folks. That's actually to the inside coming out of the 5-6 combinations. They head down Holman Boulevard. So that's the driver's right. Looks like contact between he and another driver. He actually got into the tire wall on the inside of the racetrack and, of course, got caught up in some of the banners that are there as well. So Elliott's already out of the car. The AMR IndyCar safety team is with him now, but looks like potentially shaking a little bit. Of course, had that nasty wreck, as we said, and a driver, Max Garcia, fly over top of him. The tire actually hitting the roll hoop. And Sam Corey's out.
Double standing.
That is Sam Corey out of the race as well. What happened to Corey, who finished 5th? He looks to be visibly upset about something that happened on the racetrack. He was ready to hunt as well. Sam Corey out. So we've got some top young guns who have had some trouble here early. We have 8 laps down, only 7 more to go. And again, hopefully, well, we did see Elliott Cox out of the car, but man, that's a couple of rough ones here for Elliott.
We didn't have a great visual. I saw a car that was slowing down the backstretch, but you wonder if those two are out. Potentially was there contact through the 2 of them coming out of that 5 and 6 combination.
They could have been together, and so that resets everything. So Hughes, Sykes, Johnson, Papasavas, and Clark. That's your top 5 right now. Right behind them is Max Garcia. Then it's Ethan Hogue. He's up to 7. James Garcia underneath. Jacob Douglas not making it back around in the yard of Prix. So right now, it looks like 14 on the lead lap, 15 running.
They're doing a little tire barrier repair here as well before we get back up and running. And again, if you're watching the video board as we are from our position inside the pagoda, the camera basically has been kind of reoriented so we can show you this shot. That is kind of looking back towards the front straightaway of the oval complex. So where that shot is kind of coming out of that switchback, so to speak, as they're normally heading down the direction as a lot of the cars are passing now, heading towards the museum into turn number 7. This is the other end, the beginning of the straightaway at Holman Boulevard.
You hate it for the drivers who are local. They obviously want to have a fantastic run here. There's Sam Corey, who won race number 1, got 5th in race number 2, and was a front-running driver, top 5 here in race number 3 as well. But
driver's down, okay.
Detailing
he's in the ambulance.
to your driver coach, Callan O'Keefe, what happened out on the racetrack there as they were battling through that 5-6 combination. It's a tough part of that racetrack because really it's a single file corner. So if they're coming out of 4, great pass side by side a little bit. If one gets up on the curbing trying to go side by side, it'll upset the apple cart pretty quickly on what are very, very light race cars.
Yeah, Sam Corey on your screen there a moment ago, just 15 years of age, young man from Cornelius, North Carolina. Of course, a huge win that he scored yesterday in race number 1.
Multi-time winner last year of the USF Juniors program as well. Did a bunch of outlaw karts and micro sprint karting at Millbridge. If you're a race fan, you know that guys like Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, who kind of show up at Millbridge every once in a while to have some fun on that tight dirt racetrack. So Sam's done a bunch of different kind of racing, which is great. A really talented young man and a well-spoken young man as well. Tough for him. Really hoped that he would have had another good finish to kind of cap things off. 2 top 5s, including that win, as we know. Came into this race sitting 5th place in the points as well. That's one of the keys. He's 5th place in the points. Darcy Arce is 7th in points. Got 8 points. All these drivers have already.
USF 2000 event.
Time to go.
Sykes has been able to get himself back up to 2nd. Remember, he fell back to 6th position on that opening circuit, so he has strapped his way back forward at this point. Would lose a couple of points to Lockheed Hughes, but I'll tell you, if we even get one more lap in the books, this is that scenario we talked about, right? Sykes should take 2nd here and get the points, but the guy in front of him is the guy that's leading him in the points. Does he want to lose, or would he instead try to go for it? Again, in a great place to potentially sit 1st or 2nd in the points coming out of the weekend, heading to the Oval at Indianapolis Raceway Park for that Freedom 75 part of the Carbonite Classic. But again, you got the 2 primary championship combatants, Greg, right now, 1, 2, and then you throw Johnson. Nikita Johnson's 30 points, so the top 3 drivers, again, right up front.
Well, we're starting to see the wrecker clear the area, and obviously the car is a part of that as well that is on the hook. So again, I think you'll see at least maybe one more lap in the yellow before we try to get this to a clean and green restart to hopefully finish this 15-lap feature.
Always like to try to get as much green flag racing as we can for these young drivers, part of this development program. And again, that's one of the key things, Greg, about this program. We haven't really had a lot of chance to talk about it, but $1.6 million on offer in both awards and, of course, the prize money and the scholarships, which are so big. Drivers here in the USF 2000 program get the scholarship program brought to you by Discount Tire. $433,200. That's what they're racing for. The money to move them to USF Pro 2000 next year for the drivers in Pro 2000. Over $664,000 to be able to make that move up to the Indy next series. That really is kind of a calling card of the USF Pro Championships. A scholarship unlike any other one in the world. Skip Barber is our official school. You win that school, you end up getting $100,000 to come to USF Juniors. Same with USF Juniors, over $220,000 to move into USF 2000.
Names like Piggott and Askew come to mind in terms of guys that have won their way up multiple levels of the series to give themselves an opportunity.
Al Kirkwood, of course, as well, right? He won every level, but all 3 of those drivers, the interesting part about it is they wouldn't have been able to continue without the scholarship. Oliver Askew, for sure. Kyle Kirkwood being one as well, and as we said, electricity to it. Well, amp it up again because we have a 3-lap dash essentially. They're going to put lap number 12 in the book when they get back around. There'll be 3 laps to go in a 15-lap contest. The fight right now, the top 3 in points currently sit 1, 2, 3, 4. Because actually Papa Sabas, who is in 4th rather, actually 4th in points. So the top 4 in points essentially running as they are on the racetrack. So again, any of these drivers can make a pass. They're going to kind of change things in terms of the gap between the driver in front and behind them. So again, Lockie Hughes looking to get what would be Greg's 3rd win of the season. And it's very interesting because he won one of the races at St. Pete, one of the races at Sebring. He has not yet won a race here in Indianapolis to be victorious in all 3 weekends, but looking like it could be a possibility here.
You get a chance for a 3rd consecutive podium finish based on the span of about 25 hours here at the Emily Motor Speedway. If you do that, you may not be in this series for long. You could get the bump up very quickly to Pro 2000.
Yeah, Lockie's a driver who will be looking to move up. Simon Sykes, of course, already has the talent to move to the Pro 2000 category. He just needs the opportunity. And for Sykes, he needs the opportunity to finish this season. And we've seen this before. We saw it with Miles Rowe, who was struggling for money, did the same thing, came out of the gate in USF 2000 and was able to win some races and then able to put the program together to go with past Pro 2000. So Simon Sykes looking to follow in the footsteps there. But folks, we're going to lose this pace car. This time to go back to racing. We'll see the green flag with 3 laps remaining in this run here for USF 2000. Lots of great racing for you in the afternoon here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but we're going to cap things off. 3 more laps for USF 2000. Hughes, Sykes, Johnson, Papasavas, and Clark. Line it all up as we get ready to go back to racing. And again, we saw this before. Here comes the green flag. This is very similar to what we saw in that Pro 2000 race. As the green flag flying, all the riders are ready to go. Sykes, anybody else goes on? They're side by side. That'll defeat Johnson, I think, there too. What a hectic opening start. Sykes is on the inside, and he's lost a spot to his teammate Max Garcia. So I think that might have been Nikita Johnson who went way to the outside, but instead Lockie Hughes able to get it coming out of turn number 2.
Again, we got somebody jumping a corner here now. Have to give some positions back, cut that corner, coming through the switchback section, heading down to Holman Boulevard.
Again, everybody trying to get everything they can. These restarts are a great opportunity to grab a spot or 2, and that's why you see these guys getting aggressive. Down to the inside comes Gardner as well. That is Chase Gardner, I believe, trying to make a move by one of the Jay Howard cars. Again, working their way through turn number 10 now. The scrap is back underway. 2 to go this time by. And again, Lockie Hughes challenged aggressively by Nikita Johnson, but did a tremendous job holding him off.
It is Hughes, Johnson, Sykes. That's how they're going currently 1, 2, 3 at the front of the field.
Sykes, I think, potentially, Greg, maybe back to 4th spot. Maybe that is Nikita Johnson in 2nd. I think Max Garcia's got himself up in the 3rd. That's the Advance Auto Parts car. They just officially announced the sponsorship for Advance Auto Parts for Max Garcia, the Pabst Racing Machine. We'll pick him up. Indeed, that it is. And maybe that's like that.
This is the 2nd time in 2 days he has come from the back of the field to be in the top 6 of a race.
Oh, man. Hey, a lot of opportunity to learn how to pass cars. I'm okay with that. He would obviously like to be starting up front and not have the incidents he has, but Chase Gardner most definitely putting on a show here today, as is 14-year-old Max Garcia. Not old enough to run our first race at St. Petersburg, had to make his debut at Sebring, just 14 years of age. Top national carter with a lot of national championship wins and titles. And this is a young driver we've been watching for the last couple of years. He looks very good here with Audi Pabst's team.
And again, these USF 2000 races do not take long because we'll have 1 to go next time by.
Looking at the screen like there might have been something there, but is that not Chase Gardner?
It is.
Chase Gardner being shown off the racetrack potentially over a 9. We can't see it on the screen, but on our map where we see the drivers going around, it looks like Chase Gardner, who should put on a show, has fallen out of the race. White flag flying this time by. Final lap. And we may go yellow. This is the through the 5-6 combo. Because they're going to come down to 7, 8, 9. We'll potentially be able to see if there's an issue here for Gardner off the racetrack. That's what we're showing him on our track map. But Lockheed Hughes trying to hold off Johnson. They'll work their way down here. Johnson not quite close enough. Maybe a battle for second spot, though. Indeed, Sykes is going to go around the outside of Garcia. So move Sykes to P3. They'll come through. There's Gardner to the right side of the screen. So something happened to Chase Gardner, right side off the racetrack. What a horrible end for Gardner, who's shown so well here this weekend at Indianapolis. A lot of talent for that young Texan. But this is the final circuit. They'll come through now, turn number 11 to 12. And really no opportunity for Nikita Johnson from here. You can't really even get the drag race to the line, I don't think, but we could see it. Now, good job here for Lockheed Hughes. He has won a race, folks, in every event so far this year. He will extend his